All right. Shalom. We are the Hebrew Israelites from the Indianapolis camp of the Great Millstone. And we're here to give all praises, glory, and honor to
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Kakadash.
double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well in teaching us this 100% truth. Salutations to them and our fellow Akim who live in this truth week in and week out on the highways and byways. Also salutations to the hopeful elect of the scattered 12 tribes of Israel, scattered to the four corners of the earth, that be like unto the speckled bird, also known as your Israelite foreigners, and your so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. To you, we say Shalom.
Shalom.
All right, let's get right into it.
All right, this is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 2, starting at verse 10. It says, "Let us oppress the poor righteous man. Let us not spare the widow, nor reverence the ancient gray hairs of the age."
And that us is talking about the wicked, Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, according to Malachi 1 and 4. Okay, and those oppressed, the oppressed, the poor righteous man, and the widow is the nation of Israel, along with the aged man of the ancient gray hairs, also known as the hoary head. Okay, the one who understands counsel. All right, well-traveled man. Okay, the one with wisdom. All right.
It's Proverbs chapter 14, verse 31. He that oppresseth the poor reproacheth his maker.
It says, he that oppresses the poor reproaches his maker. And here again, the poor is the nation of Israel. And the one who's oppressing is Esau, Edom. Okay? And he said, what's his maker again?
So he that oppresses the poor reproacheth his
Yeah,
maker.
he reproaches his maker, you know. He makes the Most High upset, you know. All right?
He that honoreth him will have mercy on him.
And he said, like the scripture say, you know, the one that they bless, they bless us, you know, that they will be blessed. All right?
Psalms chapter 73, verse 8. They are corrupt and speak wickedly concerning oppression. They speak lawfully.
It says they are corrupt and speak wickedly of oppression. You know, what they do is gloat in oppression. You can see that, you know, in a lot of comments and stuff on social media, how they go about doing things with no regard. Just like Sleepy Joe said, you know, you're not black if you don't vote for me. Okay? They do stuff like that. Read the rest of that again.
This is the book of Psalms chapter 73 and verse 8. It says they are corrupt and speak wickedly concerning oppression. They speak lawfully.
Corrupt, okay? They are corrupt. According to Ecclesiastes 7 and 13, you know, it's roughly paraphrasing, who can make straight what God has made crooked, all right? So, and they speak loftily about that. They gloat about it, you know, brag about it, boast about it, because the power is in their hands, okay? According to, Micah 2 and 1 and 2, all right?
And Psalms 10, I'll start at verse 1. So, "Why standest thou far off, O Lord? Why hidest thou thyself in times of trouble?"
God, he says, "Why standest thou far off?" You know, number one, you know, we are His chosen people, but you know, we are here catching hell. You know, under the wicked, who is the sword. All right.
It says, "Why hidest thou thyself in times of trouble?"
God, and we think, you know, that Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai is not with us. Okay, but according to I believe it was Isaiah 54 and 7, you know, he said he turned away from us a little while, but he's going to gather us with great mercy. Right? Just rough paraphrase.
Verse 2, it says, "The wicked in his pride doth persecute the poor. Let them be taken on the devices that they have imagined."
And that, you know, like I said, in his pride, he persecutes the poor. Okay? And with that being said, he's arrogant about what he does. Okay? But that prayer is saying, hey, whatever they do to us, let it befall them as well. All right?
And then, let me look at verse 5 real quick. It says, Psalms 10 and 5, it says, his ways are always grievous. Thy judgments are far above out of his sight. As far as all his enemies, he puffeth at them. He has said in his heart, I shall not be moved, for I shall never be in adversity.
He said his ways are always grievous. You know, like it says in Micah 2, he divides iniquity, on his bed. You know, yeah. Go ahead and grab that.
This is the book of Micah, chapter 2, beginning at verse 1. Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon the bed.
It says woe, that means destruction unto them that devise iniquity. And that's sin upon sin upon sin. Okay? And they devise it, because it's in the power of their hand. All right? Because they can do it. As the scriptures say, the earth is been given into the hands of the wicked. All right? Job 9:24. All right? We go back to
It says, when the morning is light, they practice it because it is in the power of their hand.
That's just what I was saying, because it is in the power of their hand, they just do it all day and night. The scriptures say they don't sleep unless they're doing wickedness, all right? All right?
Proverbs 4:16. For they sleep not except they have done mischief, and their sleep is taken away unless they cause some to fall.
They say sleep not unless they've done wickedness. Okay? If they're not doing any wickedness, they are not at rest. Okay? And we know, like you said in the previous precept, he's doing it around the clock. All right? And if they sleep, that means they haven't done it. Do that again.
For they, this is Proverbs 4:16. For they sleep not except they have done mischief, and their sleep is taken away unless they cause some to fall.
If they haven't, done something, horrible to somebody, they don't sleep. And they do it around the clock, especially with Jake. He says this hatred for us is perpetual. That means continually, non-stop. All right?
17. For they eat the bread of wickedness and drink the wine of violence.
That's what they eat and they drink. They nourish themselves, okay, with wickedness and drink violence. That's what they live by. Okay, that's what they do.
Yes. Back to Psalms chapter 10, verse 7. It says, his mouth is full of cursing and deceit and fraud. Under his tongue is mischief and vanity. And he sitteth in the lurking places of the villages. In the secret places doth he murder the innocent. His eyes are privily set against the poor.
Right. He says his mouth is full of cursing and deceit. He's full of none but lies. Bringing harm to other people. Under his tongue is nothing but mischief. Okay, and that's wickedness. All right. And vanity. It's also, it's vain. Full of emptiness. It's all about him. Okay. He says he sitteth in the lurking places in the villages. Just look at us today. Over-policed. Sitting in our neighborhoods. We drive home. He's off in the ditch. Just waiting. To give a ticket. All right. Watching. Just like what's that in New York? If you put a bike on the sidewalk, they get Jake for that. Illinois too. Just all those unrighteous decrees to keep you, in trouble. With the intent of destroying you. All right.
Psalms chapter 12, verse 3. The Lord shall cut off all flatterers' lips, and the tongue that speaketh proud things.
God says the Lord shall cut off all flattering lips. Those are the ones who speak proudly, speak lawfully. You saw Edom, okay? And the tongue that speaketh proud things. He is the most proud. I think the brother read in, he didn't read Psalm 24. I think he said he was proud.
Oh, yeah, I read it. Yeah.
Okay.
This is Psalms 10 to 4, real quick, back here. The wicked, through the pride of his countenance, will not seek after the Most High. The Most High is not in all his thoughts.
God, he says he's through his pride. That is the present tense of being proud. Okay. He will not seek after the Most High. The Most High is not all in his thoughts. As he's saying here, he's going to cut them off, destroy them for speaking so proudly. Okay. You got some more?
Psalm chapter 12, verse 4. Who has said with our tongue, we will prevail, or our lips are our own. Who is Lord over us?
Fine, that goes back to what we say, the Most High is not at all in his thoughts. Okay? And why is that? Because the Most High is not dealing with it. All right? Can somebody get 2nd Ezra 3:16? Okay.
This is book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 3, verse 16. And unto him thou gavest Isaac, and unto Isaac,
That's talking about Abraham. Yeah.
and unto Isaac also thou gavest Jacob and Esau. As for Jacob, thou didst choose him to thee, and put by Esau, and so Jacob became a great multitude.
Right. So yeah, like you said, he chose Jacob. We know that. He was the forefather of the 12 tribes of Israel. But it said he put by Esau. Somebody look up that term, put by for me. Okay.
Put by, to reject, lay away.
Reject. Okay, so that means he rejected him. We know according to Hebrews 12, 16, and 17, Esau was rejected by the Most High. He can't repent. You said that second definition was lay away, put aside.
Yeah, it says lay aside, save.
Okay, and here again, why is that? I believe it's Job 21:30. He says the wicked is reserved for the day of destruction, roughly paraphrased. That's why now, according to Psalm 73:5, he's not in trouble like other men, nor is he plagued like other men. He's being saved. Okay, that's why the Most High is not with him. Okay, that's why he thinks that way. He puts himself as the Most High, but he's not. All right.
Psalm chapter 12, verse 5. For the oppression of the poor, for the sighing of the needy, now will I arise, saith Yahweh Bashem Shah. I will set him in safety from him that puffeth at him.
That's what it is. As long as we do what we're supposed to be doing, come back to the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High, being obedient, having that faith, doing this work, he's going to come back and put us in safety, okay? The nation of Israel, okay? That poor that's being oppressed is us. And we know that, just look around, what really can we do against this technology that's out here? I don't care how many AK or 47s, how many weapons we got, it's not enough, okay? We've seen the weaponry where, they can infrared you right through your home, never have to come in, okay? Have a drone come up to you. That's why with the licenses now, with that facial recognition, they got a drone specifically with your face on it. Come right up and pop you off if they think you're a threat. Okay?
Yeah, appreciate it.
This Psalms 27:12. It says, deliver me not over unto the will of mine enemies, for false witnesses are risen up against me, and such as breathe out cruelty.
God says, deliver me not over to the will of my enemy. And what's the will of that enemy? Going all the way back to the blessing that Isaac gave Esau. All right, and he wanted to. He said, the days of my father Isaac are at hand. I will slay my brother Jacob. So what's his will? To ultimately destroy the 12 tribes of Israel. Okay, and who are those false witnesses? That's again is them. I believe in Revelations, it says, he complained about us day and night. Okay, to the Most High. All right, and they just breathe out cruelty. Man, what is that one in Proverbs? Even his mercy.
You got it.
You got it.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 12, verse 10. It says, the righteous man regardeth the life of his beast, but the tender mercies of the wicked are cruel.
Kind, they think they're being nice and being cruel. They hold to the letter of the law with us, the draconian laws, okay, but when it comes to their own, they get off scot-free. Look at all of these militia guys, these mass shooters that's being taken in with no harm. Even though this last one in Valde, he was, I believe he was an Israelite. Yeah, she.
Right.
Whatever his pronoun is. But still, he was a wicked Israelite. They took him out. All right.
Yeah, because the dude in Buffalo, he walking around scot-free in the courthouse.
Yeah.
Swinging his arms, chewing bubble gum, you know.
Stretching
Yeah, chilling.
And wearing that same emblem
Yeah.
as the Ukrainian military.
Going back to the Psalms again, what else is part of the, what was that?
Reading
Oh,
out 12.
yeah, it said, deliver me not over unto the will of mine enemy. The number one will, another will, because the brother mentioned them trying to kill off the nation of Israel, but the ultimate goal is what? To make everybody take their grain of rice. You know what I'm saying? So we're praying to the Lord to keep the spirit on us and not take a spirit from us, so when that day comes, we'll be able to resist the will of our enemies, which ultimately is what? The grain of rice. We don't want that tic-tac in our skin. You know?
Right.
Okay.
Go ahead, Sean.
Yes, sir.
Y'all got something?
I'm scared to say something.
Yeah, I got something.
I'm scared to say something. You got some? You got some?
Yeah.
I got some.
Yeah.
Why don't you say it? Yeah.
This is the book of Psalms.
Yeah.
Yeah, a whole bunch of brothers call precepts. You bring it up.
Yeah, man.
This is the book of Psalms chapter 9, verse 9. This is the Lord also will be a refuge for the oppressed, a refuge in times of trouble.
God, he says, you'll be a Lord for a refuge for the oppressed. And what is that refuge? A place of sanctity, a place of protection, okay? In times of trouble, all right? And that's like right now, you know. We out on the highways and byways, you know, all types of crazy stuff are going on. It goes right by us. You know, we out there doing his will, all right?
It says, they that know thy name.
It's like it, because we are in a time of trouble.
God.
You see food shortages.
Yep.
You go into these little restaurants, they ain't got much of nothing. Grocery store ain't got much of nothing. I mean, ain't got much of nothing.
Sounded good, though.
Yeah. People out here dying at alarming rates. You know what I'm saying? So we're in the days of trouble now.
Yep.
It just ain't got worse yet, but it's gonna get worse.
Yep.
Like you keep saying here in Indianapolis, hell, in a couple of weeks, it's gonna be all out hell here in Indianapolis because you ain't gonna have to have in Indiana period, you ain't gotta have a permit to carry a gun no more.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So Pawpaw can get that old rusty 22 that he's been having hanging on the wall. He can take that down now and go to the grocery store with it, man. You know? Go ahead.
It says, and they that know thy name will put their trust in thee. Without Lord has not forsaken them that seek thee.
God, he says, for they that know thy name, and that's the correct name. Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Okay? That's the correct name. Not those other names. God, Jesus, Ahia, Yeshaya, Yahweh, Yahushua. None of those names. Okay? None of those names. It's Yahweh and Yahweh Shai. Okay? And for those that seek him. Okay? Who is that? That is his elect right now. We standing in this trouble every day and seeing it. Right by us. The brother just put in the group today about someone got robbed right at home. That's right around the corner from me, literally.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it didn't come our way. Not saying it can't, but when you're out here doing this work, doing your best to keep the laws, statutes, and commandments, having that faith, we're rehearsing those righteous acts, doing our due diligence to make the calling of our election sure. Okay, we're doing all those things, all right, to make sure that we're doing what we're supposed to do. He's going to protect us who seek him, all right.
That's why we gotta get the hell up out of here, man. We got a 12-year-old little boy dressed up as a little girl out here at the party, man. So like I said, we're in these times of trouble, man. It's getting to the point we can't differentiate between a boy and a girl no more, man.
So I did 5 and 20.
That's sad, man.
Right.
Yeah. Yep.
This is Psalms chapter 140, start at verse 1. Deliver me, O Lord, from the evil man. Preserve me from the violent man.
God, and who was that? You saw Edom. The wicked, okay, the evil man, the violent man. The brother brought out earlier, that violence covered him as a garment. Okay, he would just wear it, just put it on. You know, it's all over. Okay,
You sleep in it.
yeah,
Right. Hey, how do we know it? The history.
yeah.
All right. You got a big track record of
Yeah.
wickedness. All right.
Track what Apostle say is track record can go around the world.
Really?
How many times?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how we know.
Yeah. And you show it now. It's your face.
Yeah.
You know, at every level of government. You know, down to the civilian. Okay.
It's no longer a Scooby-Doo mystery.
Nope.
We gonna find you out.
Joints.
Yeah, right.
Verse 2. Which imagine mischiefs in their heart, continually are they gathered together for war.
Oh my goodness. What's this? The United States is how old? 200, almost 250 years old. Okay, and have been at war, counting now,
Over 250 times.
Right.
250 times, literally.
Yeah.
Literally, always at war.
Yeah.
Always at war. For what? They're never satisfied with anything. They're not happy with anything. You know, they always got to leave home and invade somebody else's stuff. Just take. You know?
It says, they have sharpened their tongues like a serpent. Adder's poison is under their lips. Say what?
Sharpen their tongues as serpents, you know, getting ready to strike at all times, you know, and hit you with that poison. What's that poison? You know, false doctrine, their ways, you know, that wine that's being spoken about, you know, all the different things, especially to keep the nation of Israel off balance, okay, utterly to destroy it.
Keep me, O Lord, from the hands of the wicked. Preserve me from the violent man who has proposed to overthrow my goals.
And you know, keep me from the hands of the wicked. You know, we say time and time again that wicked is a so-called white man, Esau, Edom. You know, but preserve me from the violent man. Okay, because we know, according to the scripture, he's the one that tells us that go not into the way of the one who has the power to kill. All right, who have purpose to overthrow my groins, and why he wants to overthrow those groins? Because of that blessing, that eternal life. All right, everlasting salvation. That's ultimately what he wants to get to. You know, he's mad about that inheritance. You know, mad about it. And he's the one that gave it up. All right, and then want to cry victim. It's like you doing. That's how you really know it's him now. You know, when you call him out on his stuff, he wants to cry about it and make himself the victim.
Then they got the marriage to put his finger in somebody else.
Yep.
Verse 5. The proud have hid a snare from me, and cords. They have spread a net by the wayside. They have set gins for me. Say lie.
Yeah. Somebody want to get that word? Gins.
Straps.
Straps.
Traps.
Traps. So here again, and that snare that goes into a trap too. I think the word is scandalon. Can't remember which one it is, but yeah, it goes into a trap too. A snare, cords, you know, to get you trapped up, bound up. Okay, spread that net. You know, what is it? When you cast a net, you try to catch everything that you throw it out for. You know, just like how they used to fish in the old days. You know, cast out that net, pull it all in. That's what they want to do. You know, put us in a snare, keep us trapped, and doing the wrong things.
How they do that? Well, with the laws,
Yep.
the food.
Mm-hmm.
'Cause they can say 100% beef, but then Esau's so wicked, he'll line the can with pork.
Yep.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Put lard inside of the can. You know what I'm saying? There's many ways that Esau try to overthrow us and keep us trapped. Just like the scripture said, the accuser of my brother, which was Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. Look at your people down there, Lord. They say they love you, but look at them. They're eating pork, but you the one set them up to eat pork.
Yep.
Give them a bottle of water, and the bottle was made out of pork.
Right.
Yep.
You think pork is the ultimate alternative to everything here on this planet, man? Can't eat nothing without pork, man. Let's show you how wicked he is, man. And then got the nerve to try to kosher pork.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Try to make something
Man.
lawful that's abominable, man.
That's kosher. Even with the clothes, you know.
Yeah.
They mix those fabrics. Look what they wearing. They had to buy it and get it from us, but look what they wearing.
Right. Right. You purposely put 5% polyester
Yeah.
just to add. Maybe 95% cotton, and then you up 1%.
Oh, and speaking of that, what was the? I don't want to get too far from it. What was the study that was done? The materials we're supposed to wear have a high frequency.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like the wool and the linen, and then those other ones,
Cotton.
yeah, cotton. Yeah, they drop our frequency. Throw us off. Same thing with the music. Yep.
That was done purposely.
Yep.
Verse 6. I said unto the Lord, Yahweh Shai, thou art my power. Hear the voice of my supplications, O Yahweh.
God, he says, "Thou art my power." All right. That's possessive. He is our power and none else, according to Joel 2:27. Okay. Hear the voice of my supplications. That's that prayer, that real deep prayer that's to the point of begging. Okay.
Yeah, it is.
All right.
Supplication actually means to earnestly beg.
Yeah.
So here, bro.
O power, O Yahweh Shai, the strength of my salvation, thou hast covered my head in the day of battle.
God, so that's pretty much saying, by calling on that name, we know that name is our strength. Okay, it is our hedge of protection. It's our refuge. All right, and he said he's going to cover it in the day of battle. Okay.
Say, grant not, O Yahweh, Bashim Yahushai, the desires of the wicked. Further not his wicked device, lest they exalt themselves. Say not.
God, pretty much stop that MF for what he's trying to do. Stop him. Unless they exalt themselves. Because the thing is, he thinks of himself as the Most High. If you don't stop him, he's going to exalt himself.
He drove these motherfuckers here.
Shit, that is his daddy. We try to call him daddy. That's why I'm telling you, that's why we gotta get up out of here, man. These scriptures actually fit the so-called white man and his wickedness, man.
Yep.
We sit here looking at this, look like 30 or 40-year-old white man with his young boy lover who's dressed up as a girl. This boy can't be no older than about 12 or 13, maybe 14, but his old ass lover's about 30, look like 40 years old, man. Walk around here publicly in the park, kissing on one another, man. That's the madness of Esau. That's his mindset. That's why we call the white man the devil, man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
This is Satan's seed. Yep. You know what I'm saying? And you can see it right here on the earth. It ain't no mystery. It ain't no guesswork. We know who wicked is, man. If you don't know who wicked is, well, you just lost in the sauce.
Yep.
As for the heads of those that can pass me about, let the mission of their own lips cover them.
Go ahead, bro.
Just like what we've been doing this, as for all the things they devise against us, all the wicked plans and devices, for the sake that they want to put upon us, the Lord will turn around on you, right? He said he's going to remove that plate before they fill their belly, and all the mischievous things that they desire to destroy us, they're going to ultimately be destroyed for all the wickedness that they have done.
What's that? Colossians 3:25.
He that doeth wrong shall receive the wrong which he have done, and there is no respect for that person.
Hey, read that last part again about the tongue.
I got that. It says, let the mission of their own lips cover them.
See, let the what's that? Mystery or mischief? Mischief of their own lips cover you. Like Scripture say that their own tongue shall fall upon themselves. Because you got Edomites out here calling out other Edomites for their wickedness, man, and exposing them all on TikTok and Facebook and all these other Twitter and other social media platforms.
And shame turned into glory.
That's right.
Most High made Esau bare.
That's right.
The knee, the thigh.
Yep. The side, the stomach.
Right.
Satan against Satan.
Yeah.
Look at the skirt.
You see they nasty, dirty thongs.
Right.
Hey, let me get a quick one, real quick. Let's do real quick. Deuteronomy 30:7. It says, "In the Lord thy power will put all these curses upon thy enemies, and all them that hate thee, which persecuted thee."
God, he said you will put those curses on them that were put on us. Okay? Everything that we had to go through, the heathen's going to go through, especially Esau Edom. He's going to get his double, according to Revelations 18:5 and 6. All right? all the heathen, whoever put their hands on us, is going to catch it. You know, what's that scripture? I think it's 2 Maccabees. What nation? You got it? First Maccabees 2:10, I think. Yeah.
This is the book of First Maccabees, chapter 2, beginning in verse 9. Her glorious vessels are carried away into captivity. Her infants are slain in the streets. Her young men with the sword of the enemy. Verse 10. And what nation hath not had a part in her kingdom and gotten of her spoils?
What nation? So everybody has put their hands on us. That's also said in Jeremiah 30:16 as well. Yeah, everybody has put their hands on us. So you're going to catch it. You know, the only difference is between the remaining 17 nations is that 16 of them are going to get it, but Esau Edom is going to get it double and worse, and then at the end, he's going to be wiped off the face of the earth. Okay, for good.
He put his hands on you.
Like in Psalms, chapter 140, verse 10. Let burning coals fall upon them. Let them be cast into the fire, into deep pits, that they rise not up again.
They're going to be burned. What is that? Obadiah 1:18? Yeah. That they not rise up again, destroyed. No more remaining of the house of Edom. Okay? That's that prophecy. Okay? It's going to happen. Once they serve their time in slavery, okay? Rebuilt the kingdom, you know, they're going to be done away with permanently.
Like the other people saying, after so long they're going to rise up again and come against us and take us down again.
Oh, no.
But this say that they rise not up again.
Rise not ever.
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 Forever?
Yeah. Yep.
Let not an evil speaker be established in the earth. Evil shall hunt the violent man to overthrow him.
So that's the thing. He's trying to establish himself with this NWO. Okay? Thinking himself as the Most High, taking over souls and spirits with this grain of rice. Okay? And it says the evil shall hunt the violent man and overthrow him. Let's go back to what we said earlier. He's going to be caught up in his own trap. You know? His own snare, going to be destroyed.
I know that Yahweh will maintain the cause of the afflicted and the right of the poor.
He's going to keep us. Okay? While all this is going on, and when I say keep us, that's his elect. Okay?
Surely the righteous shall give thanks unto thy name, the upright shall dwell in thy presence.
That's pretty much self-explanatory. The righteous and that upright is the elect of Israel. You know, he's going to give thanks, and that thanks is that praise. You know, in Luke 2:30, you know, that's what it says. You know, we're going to think upon his name and praise him in the land of our captivity. But roughly paraphrasing, okay? And he says we're going to dwell in his presence. And when we dwell in that presence, it's going to be forever and ever. An everlasting kingdom.
That's right. World without end.
That's right.
Go ahead, brother.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 144, and verse 11. Rid me and deliver me from the hand of strange children, whose mouth speaketh vanity, and the right hand is the right hand of falsehood.
He said, rid me and deliver me from the hand of strange children. Who are those strange children? The nation of Esau Edom. Okay? It's strange. Okay? From the Most High, like the scriptures say, the wicked are estranged from the womb. Okay? Speaking lies, going right what he's saying, which is that hand of falsehood. Okay? So he says, rid us of him. I mean, this dude is a thorn. You know, I can't stand looking at him. You know, because you just know, even though they smile in your face, you know what's in their heart.
Nobody want to see
in their mind.
Nobody want to see your ugly yellow teeth, man.
For real.
They don't bathe. They stink. They look nasty, man. It's just, you can tell they're a recessive gene, man. The Lord cursed them.
Mm-hmm.
You can tell they just ugly, man.
Yeah, that's just like you were saying about like TikTok and stuff going around about how we had to teach them how to bathe. They even admit, you know, stepping in the shower and don't even let the water touch their legs.
So them,
Yeah.
old queens and stuff, babe, once a year.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just nasty.
Contrary
And
to
they wonder why they bring disease and filth
Yeah.
everywhere they go, man.
yeah,
Cancer.
yeah, everything. Bacteria, just
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
They brought pigs over here to America, right?
Mm-hmm.
Pigs and rats on their boats and stuff coming over here to America.
Mm-hmm. Kissing dogs in the mouth. You know, I just I saw a clip today. The lady got a scratch using a hotel key card. A dog licked her. She went into a coma. All her limbs are gone.
Hey, that is just
Yeah.
Rightfully so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. She turned. They showed her arm turned black,
yeah.
and the neck. You know, she went into a coma, and that's it. Now she's sitting there with nubs. You know,
High five. Oh, you
Yeah.
can't.
Yeah, give me some skin.
Yeah. High elbow.
Yeah.
no, she had that. It was up to here. Yeah, it was just
Oh yeah.
like
yeah.
one of them finger puppets.
Oh, man.
Oh,
That's what she
man.
looked like.
But
Yeah.
see, that's what she get, because Esau came up with that idea that the dog's tongue was the cleanest part of his body.
Yeah,
man.
Yeah.
sure did.
Yeah.
Esau came up with that nonsense.
Sure did.
I always wonder, I watch my dog eat that shit.
Yeah.
How they tell us, they about
Right.
Yeah.
everybody else.
And lick their own stuff.
Right. So how is that the cleanest part of his body on the tongue?
Nasty
For real.
Eat their own vomit and everything.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But his tongue is the nastiest. I mean, it's the cleanest part of his body. That's a lot of Esau tale.
What's the confusion? Falling in the water.
motherfucker. Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn thing collapsed.
Yeah.
Drown.
See, you can tell that's a boy, man. Look at that. That ain't no girl. Jump your own grass in that water. Go ahead. Go ahead. Yeah.
Y'all got the boy.
Y'all
This
take it.
is hey, my paper scissors.
Yeah, this is good.
Proverbs 6 and 16.
What's
says-
that?
Proverbs 6 and 16 says, these 16 with the Lord hate, yet 7 are an abomination unto him.
Time that says that he hates. That's that righteous indignation. Okay? And the things that are abomination and those things that are detestable, abhorrent. You know, he despises them. All right?
Verse 17.
Yeah, 'cause you can tell, man, you can tell Esau all about wickedness, man. Look what their favorite symbols is. They all represent skulls and demon masks and monsters, and that's what they think is cool.
Yep.
Jason mask and Freddy Krueger mask and get tattoos and skeletons and dead people and
Yeah. Oh, they love them crazy
Yeah.
psycho killers. They love that.
Yeah, it's a horror.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, that's their genre right there, boy.
get their hands and tatted skeleton.
Yeah.
666.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? That's
Man of sin. Straight up.
He made that shit into a fucking trend too.
Yeah.
Like people like actually into like Satanism.
Yep.
Oh, they super open now. It's independence. You go to dollar store.
Yep.
The woman behind the desk, big ass, pentagram. And,
Shit, these
You know?
motherfuckers with the fucking devil horn filter, whatever that
yeah.
is.
Oh yeah.
Shit is ridiculous.
someone get double horns tatted on their head.
Oh, what's that dude that he turned his own self body fork
Oh,
tongue,
yeah.
the black eyeball.
Yep.
Got the little horns
Yep.
on his head.
Yep.
Yeah, I seen that like on Facebook they are showing like people with all these crazy ass tattoos.
Mhm.
And then this woman said she was a Satanist, and she said the main thing she liked about it is to have the ability to do whatever you want and
Just how it was.
don't feel bad or anything like that. Just do what you want. So I was in my head, well, if somebody came and just took it from you, well, you can't like I said, you can't press charges on them.
Yeah.
Shit,
Right.
do what they want.
Yeah, that's
Be
true.
free to do what you want to do.
That's like
Yeah.
saying, well, I go.
So let the person like, I'm a Satanist, so I just took it.
Right, yeah, you know.
Hey.
That's exactly what I thought about what she said. Like, damn, if somebody come take it from you and they Satanists.
Yeah.
No moral compass.
Hey, that's the same thing with Jesus.
Yep.
Then if you flip through TikTok, man, there's a lot of Satanists on that thing.
Oh,
Go
yeah.
live. A lot of weirdos on that thing.
Yep.
Man.
Yep. I just hit not interested. So they don't show up. For real. Go ahead.
We start over. It says Proverbs 6 and 16. It says, these 16 doth the Lord hate, yet 7 are an abomination unto him. Verse 17 it says, a proud look.
Not a proud look. That's that arrogant look, I can't be moved. You know, I'm the shit. You know, I'm everything. Nobody better than me. All right, go ahead.
It says a lying tongue.
A lying tongue. You know, he lies about everything. Okay, everything. And then you know he'll change stuff to fit his narrative. Okay, go ahead.
It says
Just like the juicy juice, where they say, I'm doing this for your benefit.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and it turns out they just got one of their own, Justin Bieber.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And he might be his name.
Yeah, that's what he is.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
I
what he
like
is.
Justin is very good.
I think he is.
But his ass is still through.
Yeah. He took it. He took it.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Get ready for a couple of months, he's gonna pass out.
Yeah.
Yep.
For good, yeah.
Yeah, you got that palsy. Bell's palsy.
He's
He can't perform.
said something
done.
else though, but yeah, pretty much so.
One side of
Face,
his face,
drug, and-
paralyzed,
He had to cancel his tour.
Yeah.
He was loving Jesus a lot. He went into that Christian.
See, they got him because he was just about to transform, man. Where he started calling out the wickedness that was going on in the industry and started signing crime, talking about he was tired and all this nonsense.
Yep.
And then he was like, hey, we gotta get him.
Yeah.
They got him. Now he got a stroke face.
He did it before too well, and then they put him on drugs. That's when he smoked crack and all that, because he was saying again he was tired.
Yeah.
And then like a month or so later, he was a drug addict. Like he was bad, he was on the street doing drugs. Esau wants you to quiet you up, bro. He gonna smoke you. He gonna do something real bad to you, bro, to keep you quiet.
For real, man.
No. How they got tired of Michael Jackson.
Yep.
Tired of you speaking.
Yep.
Prince too.
Yep.
Yeah.
All these celebrities, man, are starting to so-called wake up. Like Kendrick, where he so-called tired to wake up. What they do? Well, you better shut your mouth.
Put it
What
back to
happened?
sleep.
Yeah, that's right. So
They got him like the old slave. You want Boston?
Shut your mouth for Master P. You gonna get all those people. Shut your mouth. Master good to us. Give us shelter. Give us a place to stay.
Give us a job.
Yeah. Shut your mouth. Shut your mouth now. Before we string you up ourselves, boy.
Proverbs 6:17 it says, a proud look, a lying tongue, and hands that shed innocent blood.
God, that's all he does is kill. You know? And Lord talked about that in Ezekiel 35:5-6. All he does is shed the blood of Israel. Okay, it's multiple scriptures, but you know that one there, you know, because we've been speaking earlier, you know, we're going to return. You got it. Go ahead. Yeah.
Ezekiel chapter 35, verse 5. Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel
God.
by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity and the time that their iniquity has been.
God. So that's the thing, you know, he went overboard. You know, as we trying to, you know, come back to the law, statutes, and commandments, he's wrapping that stuff up. Okay? Having no mercy on us. It says his hatred was perpetual, continuous. Okay? Non-stop. All right? Yeah.
Therefore hath I been.
Who learned you that book,
He
boy?
said, therefore,
Who learned you that book?
therefore, as I live, yeah.
Therefore as I live, saith the Lord Yahweh Shemashai power, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee.
God, so pretty much, you know, that's summing up what the brothers were saying earlier. You know, everything that you did to us is going to come back on you. You know, you will have your blood shed. You know, the scriptures say, eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth, life for a life. Okay? You're going to get it back. I can't wait.
If thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee.
Nah, yeah, so since you didn't care about what you were doing, you know, and how you did it, you know, you just as they say today, kill with impunity. Okay, same thing's gonna happen to you, except worse. All right. Yep, I know, Shop. Go ahead.
In Proverbs 6 and 18, it says, "The heart that devises wicked imagination."
God, and like the brother brought out, he won't sleep unless he devises wickedness. They do it because it's in the power of their hands. That it just constantly, and this in here says imaginations. So that's all they think about. Constantly.
But that's a wicked imagination to want to totally collapse a whole worldwide system.
Yeah.
Just so you can feel like you're God.
Yep.
That's totally wicked. You got all the motherfuckers, excuse my Australian vernacular. You got all the money in the world, and you still not happy until you see all the people across the world suffering and begging for your help.
Yep.
Just so you can, because you got some type of God or inferiority complex, man. That's wicked as hell. If I had all the money, I wouldn't give a damn what y'all do. I'm minding my own business on the Gullah Gullah Islands, chilling, drinking my tide, being fed grapes by beautiful exotic women around the world, feeding me grapes and calling me. I wouldn't care what y'all do, man.
Yeah.
That goes to show they're not meant to rule, man. Go ahead, brother.
And to your point, that just goes to show how much of a hypocrite they are. Who was it? Maya Rothschild that says, "I care not who makes the laws, as long as I control the money." Well, you control the money, and you still not happy.
See, now you're controlling the laws.
Yeah. Everybody's put in place. We know that now. Those fake elections.
Yep.
Okay. Everybody is selected. Everybody.
Yeah, with the what's this, June? I think they're doing it this month, June or July, when they be at the Grove.
Bohemian Grove.
Yeah.
Wait, when's Bilderberg? Is
That was last month.
That's last month.
Yeah, that was last month in May.
I know something did go on.
After they got scared away from it.
Right.
Yeah.
That was just a plot. They didn't get scared. They just met somewhere else.
Yep.
That's all it was.
What was they opened that portal and it said Teckle?
Oh, actually, no. Hey, yeah. It's this week.
That was this week to build a bird.
Wait, June 2nd to June 5th.
Today was the 13th.
Last week.
That was last week.
Okay. So they had it.
Yep.
And then the Bohemian Grove, I think, is this month or next month. But that's just one of them, because they got plenty.
Right.
The Bohemian Grove just the most common that's known. But they got others that they meet up on Jekyll Island and give us another island that's just like Bohemian Grove. I forgot the name of it, because it was brought out in that documentary on Epstein. Epstein Island, it was somewhere else that they were having these secret council meetings. Same thing they do at the Bohemian Grove.
Let's look it up. It'll be in the beginning of the road, in the middle of July.
Oh, in the middle of July, okay. I knew it one of these months, this month or next month. That's when the electoral college comes into play at the Bohemian Grove.
Look like a whole lot of chaos going to be coming up too.
Yeah, it is.
Power grids. Talking about that.
Speaking of that, Indiana's on the heat advisory this week, 90-something. So we're on that list for the the highest for power going out. So we'll see.
The West Coast, it's the West Coast and the Midwest.
Yep.
So we could be experiencing rolling blackout here in Indiana soon, either this month, next month, or in August. But it's coming, or it could be in the wintertime, but it's coming. Anytime Esau predicts something, that means it's going to happen. Even if it don't happen here in Indiana, it's going to happen somewhere in the Midwest or surrounding areas like Ohio or something like that. But they try to call themselves trying to offset prophecies or what the prophets say going to happen. See, they're a bunch of liars. It didn't happen in June. It happened in September.
Right.
Fool, it still happened.
Just like what? Dark winter. We thought maybe that past year, right? But this winter, it's really looking like it's going. So
that's because we hastening today, man.
That's it.
For the return of our Lord, and Esau gonna bring us wrath.
That's
We
right.
stand prepared. That's what a watchman does, man. If something don't happen, the watchman, well, I guess I'll go to sleep since it ain't happened. That's when you get caught off guard. Go ahead.
If I can bring this out the back
Go ahead.
door. This is an article that's going into the Bohemian Grove. It said Every July, some of the richest and most powerful men.
And this
in
is
the
used for
world-
educational purposes, not for financial purposes.
Right.
Gotta throw it on so they won't cut the video.
Right.
Go ahead.
Every July, some of the richest and most powerful men in the world gather at a 2,700-acre compound in Monte Rico, California, for 2 weeks of heavy drinking, super secret talks, divine worship, viewing, and other rituals.
Evil.
You know,
Yeah, cause remember President Nixon said, that was the most goddamn faggotiest shit I ever seen.
He went with it. Yeah, he went with it.
He said that for real. And then they
They brought out his
blackballed him.
tapes.
Yeah, they blackballed him.
Yeah, he went with it. He went with it.
Go ahead. Okay. That's it, Kadash?
Yeah.
Okay.
Proverbs 6 and 18, it says, "A heart that devises wicked imaginations, feet that be swift and run into mischief."
God, and like the feet that be swift to run into mischief. I just put in the group earlier today where the Constitution and the border control can come, have up to 100 miles off the coast to come in and come into your house, and do whatever they want to with impunity. And then when you look at the map, the United States is boxed in. All those little islands, boxed in. You got control of all of it. All the land that is under control of the U.S. But within the continental, 100 miles in. That's why in that shooting in Refuge, Texas, border control showed up before the police did.
Yep.
And they just sat there.
Yeah.
Just sat there.
Yep.
Did nothing.
Yep.
They actually said that before the shooting started, that you had border patrol and some of the local police sitting outside the school.
Yeah, 40 local police. They were sitting out there, parents like, damn, what you gonna do? Go in there,
Right.
run in there. And then they sat there and they waited for, like I said, border patrol to come. So it was 80 people out there.
Yeah.
And 40 before the 80 came out there, they could have did something.
But there was some police, they said actually it was police out there before the shooting happened.
Yeah.
In the parking lot. Before the shooting happened. And then while the shooting happened, they just sat there in their car.
Then they try to arrest that one chick who went in there and saved the child.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, she went and got him, and then they threatened her. Went to the judge, so she was on probation. Okay, so she went to the judge, and she said the judge was like, "No, I'm not going to violate your probation." So she went and did her first interview.
Yep.
She said, "If you speak anything negative about this, we're going to get you on your probation." She went right to the judge. The judge said no. So she did her first interview about that. That's the one you saw.
Also, too, man, you see these police, man. They're more so, they want to wait till the smoke been cleared, then they want to start trying to do something.
Well, see, it's told to them to do that.
Yeah.
Just like the Uvalde shooting. Because, okay, picture this. Let's say you pull up at Maya right now. Walk in the store with your gun. Guess how many police are going to show up? Because somebody's going to call the police.
Yep.
It's going to be damn near all the IMPD coming to Maya to arrest you.
Yep.
See what I'm saying? But when shit like that happen, they're told beforehand this is going to happen. So just sit there and wait.
Right.
Not to respond.
And then they've been making it, plain that with that Supreme Court rule, that they don't have to protect the citizens.
Yep.
And you notice, we serve and protect used to be on all the cars.
Not no
even
more.
city anymore.
No.
Not no more.
Yep. You said, you have some more, Chop? You have some more?
There you go.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 73, verse 5. It says, "They are not in trouble as other men, neither are they plagued like other men. Therefore pride compasseth them about as a chain, violence covereth them as a garment."
God, it says they are not in trouble as other men, nor are they plagued as other men. Just like we were saying, you saw the difference between the Buffalo shooter and the Uvalde, Texas shooter. Buffalo shooter, apparently an Edomite, and then the one in Uvalde, Texas, an Israelite. Okay, of the nation of Israel. They killed him. Okay, but they took without harm the one from Buffalo. Buffalo. As a matter of fact, all of them that look like him that have gotten away.
And also, so they had to be.
Yeah.
I was saying, and most of these mass shooters be
Esau anyway. But even before that, man, Jacob go to jail for the same crime, man. The so-called Edomite. All right, and the Edomite didn't last a sentence. It's been going on for years and years and years, man.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And, you know, our so-called leaders don't help. I remember seeing Jesse Jackson on the news arguing the case against cocaine versus crack. You know, well, why are you? Nah, man, tell your people don't do the stuff.
Right.
You know, don't do the crack. If you know, that's like any of us. You know, you gonna walk to the edge of a cliff. If you keep stepping, you're gonna fall over.
Yep.
It just makes sense not to do certain stuff. Don't justify it. That's what you're doing. You know, especially if you know your sentence is going to be harsher than the person doing the real stuff, the real cocaine. That's dumb. You know, and you deserve to go for doing it because you know what's going to happen. And you think you're going to get by. Like we're just telling you, you know, this dude lays snares for you. He lies in wait to get you in the snare to trap you. Okay? We don't make those weapons. We don't make those drugs. We don't import those drugs. So you know they know something about it.
Yep.
You know, same thing with that shoe truck in Chicago. You know, all those cars with all those guns in them. They leave them in our neighborhood. Okay? That stuff is done on purpose. They know exactly what they're doing. They know you're going to get at it. Okay?
Go ahead.
It's the book of Isaiah, chapter 32, verse 7. It says, the instruments also of the churl are evil. He devised wicked devices to destroy the poor with lying words, even when the needy speaketh right.
Go ahead.
Yep. So just like you're saying, like the instruments of the churl, you know, is a ill-bred, cruel person, you know, and their instruments, the things that they push forth, you know, are devised to take out the poor, so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, who make up the 12 tribes of Israel, you know, and they do it with lying words. And again, you know, we sit up and we tell you, you know, not to take certain things, not to do certain things based off the spirit of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, and yet, you know, everyone comes against us for speaking uprightly to tell you that these people are wicked and the things that they're doing are evil. But when you get pricked therewith, then you want to come back and try to, you know, come to the men of the Lord, and it'll be, I told you so.
Yeah. An example of that is what those niggas that came against IUIC, man.
Yep.
Man.
You know what I'm saying? They ready. If they had guns, they just shot IUIC.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? They'd have killed them, man. Yep.
Yes. Yes. True hurts.
You the enemy.
That woman got a bullhorn and still yelling.
Yeah, right there.
Yeah. God damn, you got a bullhorn. You louder than the bullhorn.
You're all about peace, but you're talking about causing them harm. That's right. That's the Christian church for you.
Then the old man, he must be the OG of the town.
Yeah.
Man. Hold him back.
Yeah.
You better shut your mouth.
Yeah.
Shit crazy, man.
All right. With that, we hope the lesson was edifying for the body. Once again, we're going to give all praises, glory, and honor to
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, B'Kakwadash.
double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well and teaching us this 100% truth. Salutations to them and our fellow Arkin who live in this truth week in and week out on the highways and byways. Also salutations to the hopeful elect of the scattered 12 tribes of Israel, scattered to the four corners of the earth that be like to the speckled bird. So you can say Shalom.
Shalom.
Abba Ba.
Abba Ba.
Kwam Yasharallah.
Kwam Yasharallah.